Yeah.
And I kind of want to push back on that a little bit. When I was supposed to be working at work today, I was doing other stuff. And I got, I got sorry, boss. I got a quote or a story from Larry Brown Sports. It's by Larry Brown. And I'm going to read it and see, kind of where I think my head's at. He says it's all about identification, isolation, and then containment of the virus. As long as the NFL feels like it has identified, isolated, and contained the virus, it believes it can play the games. That's what Schefter said. If it can't identify, if it can't isolate, and it can't contain, as was the case in Baltimore because of so many infections, they're going to continue to postpone the game. That's why the Broncos-Saints game on Sunday was played, because the league believed the virus was identified, isolated, and contained in Denver, whereas it wasn't in Baltimore, and that's why that game keeps shifting. The decision to postpone or cancel a game is not based on competitive reasons. It's simply about containment of the virus, which when you look back over what's happened in the league, that kind of does make sense. Because, you had the Titans, they had a whole crap ton of infections. You had the Patriots, they had infections on both sides of the ball, so they weren't even able to really contain it at that point. Whereas with the Broncos, it was just Driscoll, and the other quarterbacks made a small mistake, and that's what cost them for the game. So I get not postponing it because of competitive reasons, because if that was a reason, the Jaguars and the Jets would play each other every week because they suck. So I get not postponing it because of competitive reasons. It still freaking sucks.
Yeah, Mike. You know what? When that news first dropped on Saturday, I think I was like most of Broncos country, and I couldn't really believe it. And but unfortunately, here we are. I don't really approve of the league's decision. I think that this is something that has been said on social media a lot lately. The league used Denver as an example, supposedly, to try to be an example for other teams that if they don't cooperate with standards and they don't do as they're being told, and something like this happens elsewhere, that the same decision is going to come to them. And I just don't agree with it, because I don't think that if that was the Chiefs, that the Chiefs have to go out there with not even their backup. I don't think that would have been the same case if it was Tampa Bay, if it was Green Bay, if it was Seattle, if it was a high caliber playoff contention team, that it would have been the same result. And to give you a proven point, look at the Baltimore and Pittsburgh game. They could have more than easily have gone with different players, but instead that game got pushed back, and then it got pushed back again, and then it got pushed back again.
Well, there's like 40 players on the Ravens that are it's not contained. That's the whole reason why they're moving it.
I know, but for Denver, it was only just one person. So all they had to do was just say, hey, look, we're going to give you till tomorrow night. If you guys don't produce a negative quarterback for, let's say, Monday Night Football, then you can't play, or you're going to have to play with a backup with Kenton. So I just don't think that the Broncos were afforded the chance. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Broncos don't have an owner. So, the Bolin situation with John Elway as general manager and Joe Ellis as the club president, we don't have that voice. And in my honest opinion, I strongly believe that if Pat Bowlen were alive today, there is no way the Broncos hit that field without a quarterback. We would have for sure had a Monday night game, or maybe even early Tuesday game at the best, or Wednesday, who knows. But the fact that happened, and I would have much rather maybe them just forfeit, because that's exactly kind of like what we saw on the field that day. The defense, I give them credit. They played their hearts out. The offense, I don't know what Pat Shermer was trying to do with those Wildcat plays, but you can pretty much see that the defense was just, they were running out of gas. And the Saints, they just played a more conservative running the ball type of scheme. They weren't really throwing. So it was almost kind of like a mercy rule, so to speak.